Hi everyone, it's Leslie from WeLoveJones.com here on YouTube, and I'm coming to you with my curriculum choices for academics for my son. He is 4 years old. He's 3 years old. He just turned 3, and this curriculum is a K4 curriculum, and it has all the academics for the year. It's called Footsteps for Fours, and this is one of 3 teacher's manuals that comes for the year. So let me just say it is 165 lessons, and it is written primarily for classroom settings, and it's Christian. However, I think it can very easily be modified if you are secular, because a lot of it is kind of refers really more to their Bible study curriculum. So anyway, it's really light on the Christianity, and you could, if you wanted to adapt this, it would be very easy to do so and just omit the few activities that are Christian. However, if you are Christian, it's really easy to have this complement anything you're doing in Bible study. So anyway, my son is, I think I mentioned already, he is 3 at the beginning of this, and we will start this curriculum on August 7th. There are 3 teacher's manuals. This is part 1. Part 1 has units 1 through 4, and it has the first book has a CD-ROM. In that CD-ROM, there are it's called the Teacher's Toolkit CD, and it's got all of these things that you can print out. If you chose not to buy the visuals packet that comes with this, you could print them out yourself. I don't know if it has all of the same as, I don't know if it has all of the visuals, but it should have a decent amount of them so that you could use this curriculum without buying the visuals packet. I personally chose to do that, and I will show you all of that when I get through this. But I want to show you just how much comes in this toolkit. It's a crazy amount of stuff. Now these first few pages that I'm showing you, you can actually read these pages. It's called the front matter, and it tells you basically how to use the curriculum, what's in here. And if you look, the Teacher's Toolkit CD, the Teacher's Editions, which I've just shown you, the visuals, which I will show you, the phonics charts and the tree, which I will show you. This tree is where you have the circle time, and it's big posters that you can buy in the visuals packet. And so I purchased the visuals packet, and I will have this tree. What I now know, now that I've opened the visuals packet, and it doesn't say on here, is that the top parts, it's a bunch of posters that you kind of piece together and put on a wall. The top part of the tree, you can change it. Like if you flip over these cards, the top of the tree flips over and it'll have snow on it. And then the other set, you flip over and it'll have fall leaves. And so the tree will kind of represent the season. And I thought that was so cool. If you're lucky enough to have a classroom in your home, the visuals packet gives you everything you need to decorate your classroom and everything you need for circle time. Then it comes with a CD, and the CD has a listening CD1 that is used for the academic stuff, the teacher's manuals. And then there's an optional track in here. You don't have to do it, but they have some music and movement with Honey the Hummingbird, and I forget what lesson that starts in, but it doesn't start from the very beginning. So anyway, yeah, music with honey, and so that's basic toddler preschool rhythm and movement type of curriculum, and it's in here. You don't have to use it, but I think we will as part of our PE. So anyway, and it doesn't come with the hand puppet or the backpack. That's separate, but so you have those CDs. So the second CD is optional. The first CD is referenced throughout the teacher's manuals, and then it comes with a activity packet, a writing packet, and practice cards, and I will show you that shortly. There are 13 units total for a total of 165 lessons. So I heavily recommend that you read through this. It gives you an idea of how to break up the day, what's all in here, setting up routines, how to use the teaching tree, poster, setting up centers in your classroom or your home if you have a classroom at home. You know, like a sensory area, music area, manipulatives area. You know, if you walk into a preschool or a kindergarten, you see these areas. They may not be labeled, but all these areas are there. And every month it gives you recommendations for how to change out the different centers, and every week actually. Yeah, it's not every month, it's every week. It gives you ideas for how to update these and have these centers complement what you're doing in school, because so much in this age group is done through play. So I love that I don't have to I don't have to think through that myself. It's written in here for me. And then I'll show you kind of what a typical, I'll show you all this. Now here it says, so I want to comment that online I read that the phonics section, the phonics aspects of this curriculum are written by a speech pathologist, and that's really why I chose this curriculum, because my son has a speech delay, and this curriculum, the phonics sections of this curriculum were partially written, or if not entirely written, by a speech pathologist, and that just appealed to me so much because my son has a long way to go in speech, and I just think that the way this is written will really help him in his speech development and his reading comprehension, which he's not reading, but and I'll get to some of that, why I picked this. Story and rhyme time. No, I want to move on to, so there's the academic stuff, and then under more footsteps. So if you want to have more than just morning time, or you burn through your morning time activities and your schoolwork faster, it has extra features, story and rhyme time, which is where they have the book recommendation of something to read to your child that day. Then the music with honey starts in lesson 22, and it says it's music and movement skills to develop rhythm, coordination, listening skills, and more. And then under more, and I'll show you what this means. They also have an Eager Beavers section to help students who are ready to read simple CVC words and whatnot. And so this is optional. It's built into the curriculum, and it's in the lessons, starting in lesson 56 in this case. But you know, if your child's not advanced, then you just skip these sections in the weeks, in the lessons. So anyway, I thought that was really cool. Again, more about what's in the visuals, and in the visuals packet it has 100-day counting with Max, and it's just really cool what's in here. A little bit about the assessments, and if you saw my video where I explain, I already printed these out from online. I explained these assessments and how I plan to use them. And then here's a breakdown of what a typical lesson looks like. The unit, a unit page, I'll just start with unit 3. A unit has like an intro, and it tells you what lessons, how many lessons are in that unit. Sometimes it's 2 weeks, sometimes it's 1 week. These reproducibles are in the teacher's manual, in the Toolkit CD. So this is an idea of a bulletin board, how you can update your bulletin board for this unit. And then it's got songs that are sung during this unit. Sometimes it's multiple pages, but in this case it's just one. And much like Abeka, it's got a phonics song for each letter of the alphabet. And then each week, so here's week 7, it tells you what materials you need to gather and anything you need to prep. So this is like things you might have to cut out. Do you have to cut things out? Is there, do you have to measure anything? Materials you want to get ready for that day. It gives you snack of the week, and you know exactly. And then in yellow, it highlights for you, like, this is brown day, plan to wear brown to reinforce that concept. So that's cool. And then here's a typical day. A day is multiple pages. And I know that may seem overwhelming for this age, but it's actually very few things per page. So here's the circle time, and you're kind of repeating a routine there. And then it tells you what materials you'll need to do the language arts lesson, and it's really short. I know this looks really wordy, but this is like maybe 5 minutes worth of talking, if that. If you look the parts that the teacher actually says this, in this scripted thing here are in blue, and the answer you're looking from your son is in red. In my case, my son is in red. My apologies if this looks blurry, but actually that might help with me not getting in trouble with Bob Jones. But yeah, so the stuff in black is stuff for me to read. The stuff in blue is stuff I say, and then the stuff in red are the answers I'm looking for my son for the language arts lesson. And it'll reference here if there's an activity sheet that corresponds with that. So it's language arts, which is broken up into the intro, pre-reading, a listening task, and these change a little bit kind of per day. The listening task is always kind of a little mini read aloud. Here's the read aloud, again, blue, here's what I'm reading, and then blue is other things I'm asking and answers I'm looking for my son. Here's the writing packet, and there's an image of the writing packet page I need to look for. And then this particular day they have science. Sometimes it's something else, but here's a little mini science thing, and look at how short that is. It's so age appropriate. Anything you can, and then it has a centers connection. Sometimes it's bigger, and I'll find something different. Here's the math lesson for the day. It continues here, and then more math, and then a corresponding activity, and then wrap it up. Or you can do this if you burn through this really fast before lunch. It gives me a book I can read aloud, and other activities, and then I can circle back here and wrap up the day. So I have options. I can stop here, or I can keep going and then wrap it up for the day. So that was what, 3 pages worth of school time. 4 if you do the what do they call this? More footsteps. So the more footsteps is optional, but you could stop once you hit wrap it up for the day. But if this was easy, you can kind of keep going and reinforce and fill your day. Just depends. So, and every day is like that. Teaching tree, which is the circle time, language arts, centers, something, math, and then you can wrap it up. And so on this next day, there was no science. Or you could keep going with additional stuff and then wrap it up for the day. And here's the next day, circle time, language arts. It's a kind of a long read aloud this time. A writing activity, and then math. And here, so it seems to either do a writing activity or a science or a heritage study. Usually, my experience from last year is that it got more rigorous as the year went on. So, anyway, I wanted to flip through it and show you kind of a basic structure, how a lesson is laid out, and how a week and a unit is laid out, because I know I find it super helpful. And here are manipulatives I purchased. And I'll show you those manipulatives shortly. So here's the teacher's manual. Now in the back of the teacher's manual, they all have songs that correspond with the lessons in this teacher's manual, 1 of 3. So songs, and then they have the reproducibles that correspond to the lessons. If you choose to do these activities, you certainly don't have to. And then any visuals. These I don't print out. I just kind of show my son out of the book. Unless it recommends that you actually go ahead and print it out for some reason. But yeah, so very, very colorful illustrations. And one of the reasons I love Bob Jones is because of how colorful the illustrations are. It has a lot of visual interest to keep my son engaged in school time. And so yeah, there's the teacher's manual. Here are the practice cards. A lot of them are double-sided. See, they have, and they do show you the capital and the lowercase. Now, Bob Jones has their own proprietary font called Precursor Font, and which you can download from Bob Jones. And so that's why the N looked that way, because it's precursive. They're kind of teaching you both. Now, these practice cards have the alphabet cards, the number and dot pattern cards, color and shape cards, and max and song bookmark. So I'll show you what the bookmark looks like. Here's the shapes. Here's Max if you need it for something with his song. And then bookmark. So yeah. Now, in the K3 curriculum, you only learned capital letters. In the K4, they teach you both capital and lowercase. So that's one of the big differences. So while some of the visuals are similar or almost identical, the phonics is certainly a little more upgraded for age. And they're learning more shapes. Like last year, my son did not learn the rumba. Shoot, this got a lot of whack. Last year, my son did not learn certain shapes. I think he only learned 6. Like this shape's new. My son's he's seen this, and I think he knows what it is, but I never formally taught it to him. Yeah, everything's just a lot more updated. There's definitely more work this year than there was last year. So these are the practice cards, and this comes in the base kit. So there's 3 of these teacher's manuals. This is the base curriculum. So you could do this curriculum without without any of the visuals. I chose to buy more than this base. So yeah, I'll show you that. The CD I already kind of went through, so I'll move on from that. So here is the activity packet. I just want to show you how thick it is. So thick, I love it. My son burns through workbooks very quickly, so I was happy to see that for the price. It was very beefy workbook. So this has the alphabet song, and then it has got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 readers, phonics readers, and they are kind of towards the back of the workbook, and then the activity pages. And then it's got, so I'll show you. They're here, I'll flip through the activity pages. So here is the phonics chart, which has the alphabet in upper and lower case. And then here are the activities. They definitely get more rigorous. This is the activity packet, not the writing packet. So that's why you're not seeing a whole lot of stuff here. So this is where the math, the science, anything that's not writing. Some of the language arts is in here. See, some of the language arts is in here. Here's lesson 57, 77, 89, 102, 108, 117, 123, 127, 134. Anyway, there's that portion, and then when you're done with that, let me show you the readers. I just went past them. The readers are really short. So here is the beginning of the readers. The first reader is called Dad, and it's one sheet and you fold in half. The next reader is Toolbox. It's one sheet and it folds in half, and that's one reader. And so here are the readers, and then all of that was paper. This is cardstock. Now these are, like here, this one is lesson 5. This one is to go with lesson 14, lesson 21, lesson 22, and so on and so forth. A lot of these are lacing cards, almost all of them. Here, I love this. There's some of these are math manipulatives. Some of these actually are, like here's a lacing card, but it also goes with a Native American lesson that you do around Thanksgiving. Here's a ruler for math. This kind of functions as a number line too. An advent calendar. How great is that? It pokes through, and Holy Spirit, manipulative. Yeah, so these little card figurines are so great. This is for a science lesson. And yeah, they have all of these. Here's a clock, and it's a pretty heavy cardstock. And so these also go with the activities, but they're not worksheets. They're different. Here are other manipulatives that go with the curriculum. Here is a mini teaching tree. If you choose not to buy the jumbo posters, the visuals posters, you can have a little mini circle time. Maybe I'm probably going to use this for when we school on the go. If we go somewhere and do school at the library, I still have the circle time visuals that I can, and I'll show you my circle time stuff as I go along. I don't know what these are for. I haven't figured out yet, but they're seasonal. See, summer, fall. Thanksgiving, Christmas, winter, but they're blank. So I haven't tested out a dry erase marker, but I plan to, and I'll show you that during homeschool updates throughout the year. These are alphabet sound cards. So here are 2 A cards: ant and apple, and ball and bicycle, cake and carrot. And so here are all these alphabet sound cards, which get referenced in the curriculum. And I have to tear those out. And then at the very back, there are stickers. And all of the stickers, I don't know if you can see that. Like here, these stickers go with lesson 21, these 3 stickers. And they're all numbered, so you know exactly when to use what sticker, and they are also referenced in the curriculum. So I thought that is so cool. I am so excited about this. And here is the writing packet, which is on a landscape. So excited to start helping my son learn better pencil control. So I actually haven't flipped through this. There's no appendix, so it must just all be writing. Okay, so I'll flip through this. Here's lesson 14, lesson 22, lesson 27, 47, 57, 73, 93, and this all corresponds. These phonics charts I have in jumbo poster form, so this all corresponds with that. I love it. I love how everything just goes together. Lesson 100, lesson 106, 117, 122, 131, 140. Here the math gets a little more involved, I see. 152, 158. This only goes up to 165, I'm sure. Oh, it has extra stuff on the back. Okay, so let me see. Here's lesson 157. I'm trying to find the last lesson. 161. Now, all of these images correspond to the phonics charts. So I love that. Yeah, love it. To help your child learn basic spelling, or at least expose them to basic spelling. So here's the last lesson, 164. There's 165 lessons last school day. Must be like, I'm assuming this is a reproducible so that you can use this on the go maybe for other assignments. I'm not sure, but there's a bunch of these extra pages on the back. Very cool. And then it ends. So yeah, the teacher's manual tells you exactly when and how to use each page. And yeah, for example, since I've already started my lesson planning for the first month, there's a read aloud story. And as your child's listening to the story, you ask them which child went in the van, or whatever who went in the van, and your child just, traces the line, colors the right path for who in the story went in the van. So this gives them something to do while we're doing a read aloud, and I just thought it was cool. So I love stuff like that. So starts out really simple, but ends really more academically rigorously. So yeah. Here is the writing packet. Now both activity and the writing packet, I'll show you on this one. They have this, they're perforated. So if you look to see, this lays flat. And you open this. This might be too hard to show you on this one. Let me pull this. If you see here how it lays open. And that's so all of these are easy to pull out. So if you're somebody that likes to tear these things apart and put them in a binder, or put them in a file box, or whatever, they peel off real easy. They tear off of this real easy. I'll show you how easy this is. Like, I'm doing this with one hand because I'm holding the camera. That's how easy it is. I mean, it's just no effort whatsoever to evenly and correctly tear this off. So anyway, that's those. Yeah, I think I said I wasn't going to show you the other teacher's manuals because they're just teacher's manuals. So I don't know if you can see how large this is. These are the phonics charts, and it's enormous. I mean, here is the writing packet, and here is the phonics charts. you get 70 charts total. Then they're huge. You get the 26 phonics charts, and then you get the handwriting wall charts to decorate your classroom or in your home. The alphabet song chart, which is this blown up, and it is double-sided, just like it is in the workbook. The alphabet teaching cards, which you have to cut out. The teaching tree and the teaching tree supplement. So I'm going to flip through this real quick. It's really hard to flip through, so bear with me because this thing is huge. Yeah, it's huge. So here are the phonics charts, phonics song charts. And the song is in the back. So here's the image your child sees. A is for Annie Ant, and here is the corresponding rhyme that goes with it. And I just think that's so cool. Let me keep this out so I can reference it. Phonics charts. Let me get to the end of these. Okay, so, and then these I have to cut out, but this is the alphabet, the handwriting wall chart, so your child can see how they're expected to write that letter on paper. Now I will say this curriculum has guides for how to teach the strokes of the penmanship. If you need that, I'm probably just going to wing it to keep things simple for myself. But yeah, so here's that jumbo alphabet song chart, and it is double-sided. You see that? Here are the alphabet teaching cards. So these are jumbo cards for teaching each letter, and they are front and back. And this is, again, they use a Precursor font that is proprietary to Bob Jones, which I personally like just fine. I don't have any beef with it. Here's the end of those. And then here are the teaching tree supplements, the days of the week. Today is, tomorrow will be, yesterday was. It is a, and then I cut these out for manipulatives for this. These are all flaps for the tree, and Max is badge. Max is watering bowls, and then here's Honey and her nest for the tree. She's got a nest. Oh, and this, you know, you don't have to use any, but these just punch right out. You can see they're ready to fall out now. Here are 3 different poses for Max that you can use for bulletin boards, for the tree itself. Here's Toby. He does math with your children. The 2 squirrels do phonics with your children, Sophie and Sydney. And these are characters that your child will learn to love throughout the school year. Now this is manipulatives that you use for when you assign tasks. So you have a calendar person. So I'm not going to use this since I'm not going to use this in the way the curriculum intends. So I don't have to assign classroom helpers because I've only got 2 kids and only 1 school age. So I'm going to use these as checkboxes. I will put these down in a row, and as we do each thing each day, my son can, I'll figure out a way to use it for kind of chores, school chores. The weather cards, and these are manipulatives for the teaching tree. Look how big they are, how colorful they are, and they're double-sided, so very efficient. Here are some of the manipulatives for math. Now if you notice, these strawberries have the corresponding dots on the back, and here are acorns for the squirrels. And if you notice, these have their capital on one side and lowercase on the other. And then here's a teaching tree. So here's the tree with snow. You see, it's piecemeal. It's kind of like a big puzzle you have to put together. In the spring, when the snow melts and things start to blossom. Let's see here. More snow. So I have to figure out how this all goes together. Here's fall. When the leaves turn from green to fall colored, and so on and so forth. So yeah, this is what I meant by the tree reflects the weather. I just thought that was very cool. And then there's more. I've actually bought more visuals. And I'll tell you how much all of this was at the end. I'll scare you with the price at the end. They're so heavy. So here are the visuals packet that we chose to purchase. Now this comes with 60 teaching visuals that correspond. A lot of these are science, a lot of these are phonics, and a lot of these are, one of them is for the eager beavers. Some of these are for math, and some of these are for the circle time, like the hundreds chart. You can use that at circle time. They don't require you to, but if you chose to, you could. And then unnumbered charts. You have calendar, month name cards, number cards, dot pattern cards, sequencing cards that are referenced, 100-day counting line cards, the birthday train for celebrating birthdays in your household. Since we don't have classes, you know, we don't have a room full of 30 kids. And then the stick puppets that you can make out of the characters, the cast that your child will get to know, shape manipulatives, and fractions, which I thought is cool. So here are the color cards, and these are pretty much identical, however not double-sided like these are the same images from the K3 visuals packet, but the K3 they were double-sided, and K4 they are not. And that's because you're not spending a whole month on one color, you're only spending a week on one color. So that's one main difference between the two curriculums. Here is you could use this for circle time. There are no instructions necessarily for when specifically. There are recommendations for when you can review these colors, but I think I'll put this near circle time so we can review all the different colors. Here are the shapes. Posters. Again, I need to cut these out because there's multiple shapes. And then the rest of the shapes. I like this better than what they had in the K3. This is different. This one is different. And then the number cards, and then there's corresponding rhyme, and these are double-sided, these math cards. So here's a rhyme that goes with 0. Here's Toby. A rhyme that goes with 1. A rhyme that goes with 2. And these are all double-sided, so I will skip these. There's 10. Stops at 10. Here's a number sets poster that you use at one point during the curriculum. I don't know where yet. And then these are some nursery rhymes. And in the K3, some of these come in the K3, but they're smaller. They're about half the size of this. So these are huge. Flip through these, skip past all of these nursery rhymes. And here are some examples of some of the heritage studies and social science type things that they do. Recognizing important signs, community helpers. And these are almost identical in size and images from the K3. Now this one's different. Here is a little seasons poster. It does come with a spinner somewhere. This one's a little different from K3, the Native Americans. And this one, some of these are double-sided. The science one, for example, is double-sided. Christmas is very different than the K3. I think this is done in January. Animals in the snow, animals in their homes, money, patriotic symbols, and this one's double-sided. Cowboys, double-sided. Clowns, ugh, I hadn't seen this one yet. Terrifying. Dinosaurs, I think this is towards the end of the school year, and that one's double-sided as well. This probably goes with a read aloud in the curriculum because these are characters known to your child by this point in the curriculum. Farm animals, zoo animals, garden friends. Again, some of these are double-sided. We have a pool that I hung up. Vacations, and this is the last poster they use before they go on summer break. Here is the number line that I have to cut out and figure out where I'm going to put, and it's double-sided too. I gotta figure out how to carefully cut that. Here's another clock, the hundreds chart, and if you notice, this hundreds chart has counting by 5s in one color and counting by 10s in another color. I like that very much. Here's an optional poster for the eager beavers, and it tells you what lesson to you hold this up for eager beavers, I guess, and then you hold this up for different things that you're teaching. Here's lesson 98, lesson 111, lesson 121, lesson 130, lesson 136, and so on. Handwriting with Max. This is a visual board. I like this. I need to test a dry erase marker, because if a dry erase marker wipes right off, I don't need to buy anything for the walls for writing. Here are the months that I can cut out. Here are more flashcards for teaching. And now in the K3, these are like this, and then in the back had the other these. I like that these are separate, because now I can have him match the correct number with the right quantity. So those are for math. And then these are sequence cards you have to cut out. You know, you explain to your child how to do something, and then they have to put it in the right order. In K3, the sequence cards were never more complicated than this, than the 4 steps. Here they're adding it to 6 steps. Here's 8 steps. Story of Thanksgiving. Here's 4 steps again, 4-step sequence cards. Now these are these are double-sided, and you put these are 100 of these cards, and you put them in your classroom, and leading up to the Max's dog bone. And each day you do school, you flip it over. You put them on the wall, gray side up, and each day you flip it over, and so you can keep track of the days, how many days you've done school. I think that's a very great kind of hands-on activity that you can do daily at circle time. Here is Max, the birthday train, manipulatives for the circle time and stuff, fractions, and then here are the clock and the weather things, and math manipulatives, and these are the stick figures. You're going to use these at circle time, and yeah, then just the backing. So that's it. So now, for how much does this all cost? The stuff I'm sure everyone's dying to know by now. So, so the base kit is $165. So if you just want those cards, that's the 2 CDs, the 3 teachers manuals, and these 2 books. It's $185, which is great. These visuals, however, are pricey. This was $63, and that was the visuals was $63, the phonics was $63, and so that got our total up to like almost $300, I think. And then I added a few extras. I added 2 books in Spanish, Buenos Días Carlitos, 3, El Pato Paco, and then I added Buenas Tardes Carlitos, because I do plan to do Spanish with my son this year more formally, and I wanted these are Bob Jones published books, and this one is specifically meant to introduce your child to Spanish. And then these are the appropriate kind of manners type books. And then the curriculum has a Grandparents' Day, and I wanted a book that my father-in-law could read to his grandchild, and my father-in-law is really kind of crafty and handy and builds things, and so I thought this would be a good story for them to bond over. And so I added, they had a sale where you get 4 for full price. You know, these are full price, so I think it was like $8 each book. So brand new, we own them. So total, with a discount and everything, I paid $334 for everything. But I have everything I need. Everything to decorate our home for school, the teacher's manuals, all the workbooks I'll need for the year, all the manipulatives I'll need for the year. I can't think of anything I need, really. Like if I bought no school supplies, all I'd really need is just a handful of things, because I'd have this. So anyway, let me know what you think about all of this. Have you used Bob Jones for older grade levels? Please let me know. Share any advice. If you have any questions about anything I covered, let me know. And yeah, I'm gonna start tearing into these bad boys. So anyway, thanks for stopping by. I hope this was helpful and gives you some ideas for helps you figure out whether you want to use Bob Jones or not, or Becca. Becca's very similar to this, very, very similar to this. I chose teacher-led because I enjoy teaching my son, and I don't have he's my only school age child, so I can give him the time he needs to do teacher led. So yeah, please like this video if you found it helpful, or comment below if you want me to send you a picture of anything in particular that you have questions about. And subscribe if you're not a subscriber. Follow me on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. Take care, everybody. Bye.